Enjoy this little rant here, 2.5 hours long. That's what I'm trying to keep them at. This is from June-ish. I'm putting May in the title. I think it might have been a little later, some of it. Enjoy 2018. Nothing to report except that I've been keeping an eye on how much sunlight there is, and there's been more than I'm used to. I mean, it's summer. But, 10 o'clock last night, it was really cloudy. At 9:30, it was real cloudy, and I could still see the sun peering out through those clouds. I mean, not peering out. It was very hazy. It's very hazy around here because of the fires. So... Alright, still having problems with the audio, so I don't know if this is coming through or not. I just got off of an interview with Unbiased and On the Fence. And the one thing we didn't get into was talking about creating. And that's a subject we probably should have gotten into. Because my thing is, I really feel like I'm creating individually. I've tested it, and I got to get out of my head, go with my heart, with my desire, and let it go. I mean, and not let it go, accept what is, and then you shift into what you'd rather have it be. This is what I've noticed that I'm doing. Am I confident that I'm doing it? Kind of, but not completely. I'm confident because even when I can't get out of my head and the negative thing, I'm creating the negative things as well. And I'll say, oh, I failed. Well, I didn't fail. I just didn't get out of my head. It's the belief here and then the feeling and the acceptance. And it's not a formula. You just do it. I mean, yeah, you could say, okay, I'm changing this circumstance. You're not changing the circumstance. You're changing yourself, putting yourself into a position where that circumstance is different. Layman terms is, I'm changing this. I'm going to change the weather for tomorrow. You're not. You're shifting your consciousness into a timeline where the weather doesn't affect you the way it was announced it would affect you. My big thing here is I feel like I'm doing it individually. I feel I am. I strongly believe I am. I feel I am. And I don't see a lot of people doing that. I see some people agreeing with me that you can. But there is a group. I mean, there's so many Mandela affected people that, to me, we're supposed to be doing this as a collective. But you got to learn how to do it individually first. And it's not even a learning, it's a knowing. It's not going to school and learning how to figure out an equation. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to make anything happen. You don't have to fix anything. That was my biggest problem. I wanted to fix everything. No, you don't fix it, you accept it. You don't take a formula and figure anything out. That's what they taught us in first grade. Here's this, figure it out, figure it out, figure it out, instead of just let it be, let it happen, and create it. That's right from, we were indoctrinated into this physical reality, whether it was by ourselves, that we did it to ourselves, or if it was we were trapped or whatever, because I'm sure there's more than one scenario when it comes to that. I'm sure a lot of us put ourselves here. I'm sure a lot of us were trapped, tricked, whatever. But I think to experience true happiness and bliss and physical reality the way we were supposed to experience it, we need to create as a collective. I'm doing it individually, and I still see things going on around me that are negative, or at least negative for me, and I can even see where they're positive for them people. Oh, that's happening to him. I remember when I went through that. They're learning, they're growing. But the creating thing, I think we need to do it collectively, and I'm still learning individually.
Never going to get that. I love that. You said that some people think that God...
Yeah, some people, one version of the simulation theory is that God is the artificial super intelligence that is essentially running the simulation, and we're just in it. And
cool.
That's...
Yeah, my phone is totally out of commission. Again, I think I talked to somebody 3 days ago. And I've been trying to charge it and everything, and I'm not worried about it. I don't care, but because of the business, there's things I need to be getting on the phone for.
All of a sudden, it's the morning of the service. I get up, I'm fixing to put my socks on. I hear her laughing, and in the room I turn to see, and there, out of a little rift, sticks her hand, and in between her thumb and finger like this is a burning orb, a little sun. This is your wife after she passed? Yeah, 3 days later. She's laughing, and I said, what's that? Well, she just created a sun.
Oh, she created a sun.
Yeah, I said, what do you mean? Well, she's in creation school, he said. Creation school, recreation of, they say there's suns happening at the speed of light out there. So someone's creating them.
So there's activity going on there too, wherever she passed to.
Well, yeah, I mean, I believe that when we leave here, we're part of a new creative movement. We're not creating much here but chaos. But out there, I believe you'll have the wherewithal to create your own planets or your own whatever.
Interesting.
A universe, if you wish.
I like that.
Yeah, well, that's my concept.
That's kind of interesting.
That's what. And he kind of showed it to me. I'm not big on pushing any kind of religion on anyone. I'm not down even for the Christian church. But I do believe that there's a God. Period.
We've witnessed something, right?
Yeah, there's an intelligence beyond my own. And it's a damn good thing. If it was just down to us, we'd be in trouble.
So the moon is a sphere, the sun is a sphere, all the other planets are spheres, but we're not.
I thought it was flat. Wasn't the Earth flat?
Oh,
He's a flat earther.
no, he's not a flat earther. He's a I don't know him.
Oh, I don't know.
The haze is from the fires.
I think about that a lot. Michelle.
Your parents were going to name you Michelle, so you figure in a multiverse.
she's out there. There's an infinite number of Michelles, just like there's an infinite number of Jennings.
And this gentleman asked me if my parents would have named me a girl. What was your question? How did you ask
If you were
that?
born a female, what would your parents have named you?
Oh. And I came up with Samantha like that, and I don't get that or why. And I explained to him that I do have memories of me as a female talking with my father and my mother, but I did not have brother and sister, and I was like in my teens. So, and I'm like, I've had that memory prior to knowing about the Mandela Effect, and now when he brought that up, I'm like, well, the revised edition of the book should be good. TV show with the 4 girls running around New York City. What's it called?
Girls.
Girls. How about Sex something?
Oh, Sex in the City.
What's the first word?
Sex in the City.
What's the second word?
In the city.
In? Okay.
In.
And what island is the Statue of Liberty on?
Oh shit! I don't know the names of that.
Ellis Island.
Ellis Island. Most people remember Ellis Island.
Isn't it Ellis Island?
I don't think it's on Ellis Island. I think it's on its own island.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's on the way to Ellis Island.
Could you be having one of those dual memories? Because it's now on Liberty Island,
Yeah.
which for me never existed.
I just remember going to
Yeah.
Ellis Island. And, yeah, it's on a different island. You're
Yeah,
right.
it's a different.
I remember it being on Ellis. A lot of people remember. Some people remember it being on Governor's Island. But that's the Mandela Effect, and I'm gonna have to.
There's a clip coming up, probably the next clip, but I don't know. You're going to hear a lot of birds. Try and listen. You're going to have to turn it up probably, and then halfway through that video, I shut the birds off. The sound gets better. But I think I made a good point. I think I made my point, and it's about, paying attention to things that aren't within your physical perception. If you're paying attention to things that aren't within your physical perception, it's not real. Yes, those things may really be happening to those people, and they're probably not. They're probably happening for you to know not to worry about that stuff. I don't think those things are actually consciously happening to those people. I think they're off in another timeline. Sorry about the sound coming up. It's going to be about 12 minutes of me speaking. I cranked it up as best I could. It should be fine if you crank it up in about 12 minutes. It'll be done. You might want to lower them speakers again. I need to be careful because you know what happens when we disagree with people in the Mandela Effect community. All of a sudden, nobody listens to you and stuff, and whatever. There's some fear-mongering going out there. I don't care what you want to call it. I like this person that puts that stuff out. They put out good Mandela Effect information out. Now I'm noticing, and it could be that I shifted. As a matter of fact, I'm quite sure, because I'm noticing changes of other people more than myself, or items, or things. It's people themselves. And, I'm shifting my consciousness into that. Things still don't seem right. Yellow signs are still red. But I really seriously disagree with see, this is tough, and this is even tough for me, but I'm sticking to it, because this just makes sense to me. It's like, oh, that's so mean, and you're not really paying attention. I'll bet you're not getting any of this. I've been checking videos where there's like no sound at all. I wonder if you guys will pick any of this up now. But you seem to get the birds, but not my voice. Don't understand why you would put out fear. Okay, there are people in another country that are being tortured and killed. Okay, you know what? I don't know that. I don't watch the news. I didn't watch any of that anywhere. I don't know. I made that up, but I'm sure that's a story that's being talked about.
there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. And if you think you can, then do something about it. Stop whining about it. Stop telling everybody else about it, unless, of course, you think you know somebody that can do something about it or stop it or whatever. First off, number one, this stuff ain't happening. It's to create anguish. They want you to be upset. They want you to fear. This stuff isn't really happening. And if you're watching it on YouTube, it's not really happening. If you're watching it on the television or videos, it's not really happening. They're making it up. This, what you're watching now, it's not really happening. It's not. Okay, you watching me right now, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm talking to you about, it's not really happening. This is just something your vision is taking in. Your mind is taking that in. And then whatever I say gives you joy or pain or fear or some sort of emotion. Because this is not real. You watching me on YouTube is not real. Alright? What is real is the emotions and experience behind what you're watching and taking in. The emotions are real. You feel those. And then you're like, oh, this story I've heard. Yeah, all these kids are trapped in a mine. Oh my God. That didn't happen. It's not real. It's not true. Okay? You're watching on TV. That's your emotions are what's real. So now you're putting that, and I hated using a real example because I'm such a mean person now for not caring about these children. Of course I do. Whatever. There's nothing I can do about it. I think you were chasing smoke there, brother. What you're doing is building up these emotions which are real, and then you're creating that emotion. And then you wonder why you're having problems with your child or your spouse, or other things. Because that emotion you're sending out. And then you're taking this fake stuff because it's fake. If it's not happening in your physical reality, it's fake. It's not real. If it's happening to other people, it's happening to their physical reality. It's not happening to yours. But it doesn't matter because you're taking this in, you're taking in the emotion, and you're letting the emotion out. And then your world's screwed up. And you're walking around going, oh, this world sucks. And then you build on that, and then there's momentum going. Okay? If you're posting negative stuff, if you're talking about things that are happening on the other side of the world, look, if it's happening across the street, get out and go do something about it if you're not happy about it. I do like the birds, but I'm not sure you're going to be able to hear me. I hope I don't have to go through all that again. That was pretty damn emotional. And I'm starting to understand this whole headphone microphone thing. And without the birds, I bet that helps. No matter, put it over here, it comes towards me. Put it over here, it comes towards me. Okay. That's just on the micro scale for you, for your life. How are we going to create as a collective if you can't do it to your own life? If you can't get away from the negativity from your own life? They're going to get it. Those things aren't even happening to those people on a quantum scale. It's not even happening to their consciousness. That's there for you. That's there for you to learn to stop worrying about it. Stop with the negativity. Stop watching this stuff. I know it's hard. Try it for a week. I challenge everyone to not watch any kind of news for a week. It's along the same lines of trying not to eat meat or trying not to have any sugar. It's not easy. You don't even know you're doing it. Be more conscious of the physical things happening around you. If you help one person next door physically, you're making the world a better place. The world is a better place for that episode, that circumstance. Instead, you know, if you sit around on your watching TV and worry about what's going on everywhere else, you're bringing that negativity right to you. Well, it's good to be informed. No, it's not. You don't need to be informed. You need to be informed about what's going on in your area, maybe. You know, I know things are bad other places. That's because those people are making it. They're creating that. Okay, and I'm pretty sure they're not even creating it. I'm pretty sure it's just something you've created. I keep saying you. I mean me. Okay. I'm not pinpointing one specific person because there's a couple of them that I see, that I like, that I listen to, that I talk to, that I consider friends. Just not doing it. I mean, I don't know. But I've definitely shifted recently, and this shift is people. People are different, myself included. I mean, I was working on being different. I was working on that shift to be able to watch instead of interacting. Okay, letting things happen around me, and they work out. Not to fight anything, not to try and fix anything, just let it happen. I don't have to figure anything out. I just sit back and this is what I desire, but I accept what it is, and it goes away. Accepting's got to be the hardest part. They were real birds from outside. I've also had this thought, and I've had quite a few thoughts, and I think I'm going to just make a fictional story on this one. I'm going to create a fictional story and have it published. Maybe a bunch of short stories, because this one, could be, it's not going to be a novel. But what if we were placed here to see how would we react if we actually lived in a universe with billions of stars, billions of other lives interacting with each other, and we were placed here to see how we would interact with that idea. But the first step would be to get along with each other. And we're not doing too well, right? So we need to shift out of that. That's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm doing it. I see it around me. It's, am I creating? Well, it's not you creating. It's just a coincidence. No, it's me creating. It's me creating, whether it's simply getting up, walking up to do something, whatever it is. I'm creating, and I believe I'm successful. And anytime I fail, I'm not failing, I'm still creating because of the negative thoughts that are going through my head. And I came across this because this is the pattern thing coming up. I can feel the negative thoughts coming in, and it's so much easier to fight them off and to laugh at them. They're gone. It happened this morning, and I expect it to happen every morning I wake up. I don't even care. I'm getting rid of them. I just put a smile on my face. I start laughing. I say, ooh, this isn't me. Those negative thoughts are starting to come in now. Today is July 8th. I don't see a full moon coming until like the 27th, I think. No chemtrails now. See, this is the time where we've just come out of a shift and everything's great. Everybody's in a good mood. And it just started to take a downward spiral. Not for me. I'm seeing it happen to other people. And I'm like, well, this happened to me before. But they don't know that. They don't see this pattern. They don't see this. They're still, let's pay the bills and pick up the kids at school. That's where their focus is. And that's okay. But what if we're here and there is universes out there, multiverses out there. There are other things to experience. There are other physical realms to experience. What if? have we been put here not to destroy all that? If we were put here, if we were put here, I feel we probably put ourselves here in some form, in some way, to learn, to grow, to see if we could do this. But I like the idea of it. It was just the thought. I don't know if that's what it is, but that's interesting. I had quite a few little thoughts come in like that. I jot them down real quick, and I think I might just do a bunch of short.
8/8/18 is coming up. It'll be the 3-year anniversary of me having an experience with the celestial beings known as stars. I've been keeping my head up, but it's been so cloudy. Not seeing much.
It's just that since everything's fake, including my identity, I don't really give a shit anymore. And I think I'm losing perspective on a couple of things here because, you know, I ran around for after I tried that cleanse thing like 2 months ago, whatever it was. You know, I got out of that. Really, things were really pumped up. Things were really well. And then I started to create. I started to literally actually create my reality to where I was like, look, I really want to chill. I really wish I didn't have to work today. Just saw myself not working. Come downstairs to work, and the guy's like, hey, look, you mind if I take your shift? And this was about a month ago. It's like, yeah. I walked out going, wow, this is pretty interesting. So that's all I've been doing. I've been thinking something and, you know, knowing it's going to be that way. And I don't want to say I'm getting bored. It's just that it's easier for me to peer through. See, I don't want to say, I feel like I'm being ungrateful. But apparently I'm not that pulled away from it because I'm still smoking cigarettes. And granted, not as much. Not down to a pack every 3 days like is my goal, but that'll come when it comes. Remember last time when I did it, I wasn't forcing it. Hey, you like my new Mandela Effect shirt? That's not even a 100%er for me. Stouffer's is though. But I don't know. And plus we just got through that shift, so and the full moon, the blood moon, the whole thing for 2 days, whatever. Just got done that. So, and I've been on edge, baby. And just sitting there going, okay, I know it. I know what it is. Why am I still on edge? I understand it. I know it. So now I feel like this is the calm after the storm. You know, it's kind of slightly calming down. Yeah, it's time. I feel like it's time for something, and I feel like I'm not quite ready. I've been ready my whole life. You know, now something's just pulling me back, pulling in the reins. All the time. Should I do this? Should I do that? I'm just living in the moment, not planning anything. It's kind of weird in the morning, first thing, because when I'm not planning, if I have plans, boom, I'm up, I get it done. Now I'm getting up and I'm like, oh. Is there anything I have to do?
I guess that ain't going to make a difference, is it? I have some clear-cut messages coming in that we're to go home. It's time to go home. It's time to finish up in 3D reality. I'm just using terms. I don't know what it is. But I'm getting some clear answers. I've been asking this question for a while, and I'm wondering now, I'm like, God, was I missing the answers? Because, I mean, before, we know how the answers were coming in for me. You know, I'm thinking back on some little things that happened here and there. I wouldn't catch it. know it. I don't know. But not so much a breaking out. You know, like before it was like, are we stuck here? Is it a trap? It may be for some people. They're probably trapping themselves. In ways that I'd like to talk about. Another topic. But I don't think it's a trap per se, that something, another entity or something negative is holding us back. I mean, not holding us back. Yeah, I'm sure of, but I don't think they can stop us from evolving, ascending, going to 5D, whatever you want to term it, going to heaven. You know, Book of Revelation stuff, 2,000 years of peace. You know, going through the 7 years of tribulation. Yeah, I don't know what it is. And I really feel that it is about your beliefs. If you believe that you're going to be saved by some other entity, and you have a strong belief about that, and I know a lot of people do, you're probably going to be saved by another entity, assuming your beliefs coincide with what it's going to take to ascend, go to 5D, evolve, whatever. And I have a feeling that the people that are seeing the Mandela Effects already made that criteria. And I think that's what's happening. We are shedding we're seeing truth, shedding negativity, becoming lighter. We're noticing things, speed time up, you know, the changes that we're noticing these things. This is for us. You know, the people that we interacted with, that we opened up their minds, the ones that took it and ran with it were supposed to be woken up. The ones that haven't have not, are just not supposed to be woken up yet. Their dominant consciousness is probably not even within the parameters of this reality. I usually say timeline. I'm trying to change it to reality. It's a little more vague. And I think that's probably the best route to go. Another thing on moving forward, evolving, ascending, 5D. More on moving forward. I really don't think it's as much about your bad habits, the things that I was trying to get through and not do, and abstain and eat the right foods. Yes, I think there's something about that. Yes, I think it makes it easier. I think it's going to make a difference if there's a major, hey, we're in 5D. I think you might be one of the ones going, oh, my stomach hurts. Okay, as a comparable example. It might be a lot harder for you after you get to 5D and realize, oh my, I can't have a cigarette or whatever. I'm just using examples. Maybe you can. I don't know. You might get there and go through withdrawals because of things that you're used to. And it might be easier to stop them here. I'm guessing it is. I'm guessing it's easier to break those things here. And once you go to 5D, I'm guessing the symptoms would stop. You wouldn't have the urges and the cravings and whatnot. These are speculations. But I don't think it's so much that as the kind of person that you are. I'm starting to think it really has to, because there are so many of us with diverse personalities, religious backgrounds, creed, color, race. What else is there? Height. I mean, and beliefs and things that and the way we are, the way we interact with physical reality. We're all different, but what I see is we're all good people. We are all good people trying to get the truth out to people, trying to comfort people when they do come in contact with it. All the channels that I interact with, everybody's doing something different. And not one of us think the exact same thing on what's going on. We're all smart enough to know that we don't know. And there's a lot.
And not have to worry about it. What do you think? Let's get us both in there, right? And get it off.
Oh, hi. Have to say hi.
There's all my Mandela Effect people.
Oh, really? Yeah. All right. Hey.
What's your biggest Mandela Effect? What's your favorite Mandela Effect?
Of course, it's Scarecrow.
There you
Of
go.
course, it's Scarecrow. It's the biggest. I like that.
Oh, you haven't heard the latest one. What company makes stovetop stuffing?
I guess Stoker's.
You're going to guess Stouffer's. That's what most people are guessing. And it's actually Kraft. Isn't that weird?
Crap, why would they be making it? They make macaroni and cheese.
Right. How cool is that? That's the latest.
Yeah.
Friday night, got my outfit on. I feel like I'm dealing again.
I'm waiting for 6:30. Hey,
I won't show you the shorts. Hey guys.
I don't feel like it's a trap. If it is a trap, you trapped yourself. If you trapped yourself, you're supposed to trap yourself. That's what you're supposed to do. You've got to learn whatever it is. You got to learn to get out of that. I've trapped myself a couple of times. I'm probably still in some sort of a trap, but I'm ready to expand. I'm ready to explore. I am ready to move on, not die as we used to term dying. No, I'm ready for something. And I said that, I said it somewhere, and I don't know what video, probably get it in this one. I was walking down the street and it just hit me. I'm ready for something. But I think something's coming. Something's coming now, and I think we're going to shift and whatever. A big shift's going to come, and taking these little shifts, and I'm going, wow, the mood swings. And boy, what if this came in 10 times bigger? I probably would have to just run into the mountains and just sit in the corner somewhere, because I wouldn't be able to be around people. It's hard enough just the way it is sometimes. The last time, I knew about it, and I talked about it with people. I said, boy, I'm sorry I'm a pill today. I'm sorry, you just stay away from me, you'll be fine. They were all laughing. Got them in a good mood, which turned my mood, and it spread, which, that's usually how it works. It's usually how I see it. But I think it's more of a, hey, if you're ready to go, if you're ready to move on, if you're ready to evolve, ascend, 5D, I think it's going to be okay for you. I don't care what habits you got. We're all doing it. I don't think it's going to matter. You got to just, I'm sure it's not going to matter. It just may be harder for you somewhere or the other. But I really do believe we've already made the choice. We're already going to 5D, ascension, evolve. That's where we're headed. But I really don't think it's a trap. Like I said, I think if it's a trap, you trap yourself. But I don't think we're trapped. And the messages I was getting, and still am getting, is it's time to come home. So, and click your heels, tap your heels. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And I was talking to Guy Fawkes about this, and we were trying to figure out the meaning behind it, what's the difference between click and tap. And first thing he came up with was keyboard. And then we said something about there's no place like home. And we talked about Folgers and the D missing. And I said, yeah, I always thought that was the D was missing, so that means the D-wave computer is not causing the Mandela effect. And he thought that interesting. He says, well, what's they're saying? And I got one around here somewhere. The same. So I go over and I read the Folgers can, and it says, "Wake up with Folgers in your coffee," or something to that effect. And I'm like, I don't see a message there. Guy says, "Wake up," and I thought, boom, there it is again. Wake up, come home. These are messages from what you believe is guiding you. These are for me. For me, it's what I'll term as God, my higher self, my Christ self, a part of me, a larger part of me, the absolute of the absolute. Okay, I don't know, but it's coming in from. There's something there. I mean, there's definitely something there. Is it a form of me? That I get from the orb situation. That is something that without these experiences in 15, I would not have went towards that train of thought. I explored it. I kept it in the back of my mind. It always intrigued me. It's not like it wasn't my top theory on what was going on, but back then I was exploring it quite a bit. But it's something that was kind of always there for me, So yeah, I tend to think it's a part of me or a higher self of me or whatever. But whatever you believe, that's what it is, and that's what it's going to be. And rejoice in that. Be happy in that, because you're moving up. You're moving on. So the messages they're getting a little obvious. And it's like I'm looking back at the old messages, and I'm like, oh, I guess I misinterpreted that, because Folgers for me was always D-Wave computer not being around, and now this one is wake up. Makes much more sense. It's more positive. It makes me feel good. Makes me feel better. This is I'm being communicated with again. I don't think as strongly, but. Doesn't matter. I'm picking it up now. So I think this is a time to get excited. I think it's time to be happy. Now I was saying do that just to create what's around you. And, you still may be able to just do that and stay 3D physical. I don't think so. I think we're going 5D physical. I'm under the impression I'm starting to feel like it's all going to seem physical to us. I mean, until you get to some point, I'm sure. If it's like, but everything's so gradually, we probably won't even notice it or care. Yeah, so this is an exciting time. I'm starting to get impressions that we are to consciously shift ourselves into 5D, 3D, ascension, evolution, 5D. We have to start gearing ourselves up to think that way. That that's what's going to happen, and we know it, and we have to prepare ourselves. I mean, and by preparing ourselves, I mean to, choose that. That's how we shift. I'm about to do a video on the different ways I've come across that you can shift into different timelines. And this one here is like mine in my book is, focus your desire, know it to be true, say it out loud, write it down, which is something I didn't say, and you should also write it down. know it, and then accept the situation, let it go. Not let it go, but accept that it is real and it is there and it is done, and move on to the next desired accomplishment. So you will actually let that go. Focus on the other one. That's done. It's already there. But this other one, that's the one I've been pushing. And this other one is choice, and it seems easier, and it seems like it's something that you do all the time. You'll see something, you'll see a choice in front of you, and you make the decision. Now, if you want to shift, focus on what you desire and then make a different choice. I mean, you should be able to see the choices out before you and be able to choose which you want. So I'm going to do a bunch of separate videos on that. See how that turns out, because some of them are a little ritualistic, and I've tried and were interesting, and that blood over intent thing could be one way. I don't know. I'll have to put that down as a possibility. I'm not a fan of that. You put that right out there. But yeah, do that. I think we all should start thinking, yeah, you know what? Let's not question it anymore. Let's not be concerned. Everybody's going to get where they need to get to in their own time. I know it's going to be hard for families and people around you. People that you know. That look, they're probably not within a timeline close to your parameters anyway. I've just gotten some messages from some people, that are talking about how their family acts like they're not even there. You're probably not in their dominant conscious timeline, or wherever they exist. Okay, you're somewhere else. We've evolved somehow. If I could use that word, it almost seems dirty. But just, I say know it. I say no, we're going towards 2,000 years of peace. 5-dimensional physical reality, or maybe it's not physical, maybe it's just completely spiritual. I tend to think there's going to be a physical content to it. I think it's going to be a gradual thing. I can't imagine the shock from going to a completely 3-dimensional being to whatever it is we eventually get to. Okay.
I had a black.
You're trying to take a sneaker video, aren't you?
I'm not sneaking no video.
I know you are.
I noticed the sound hasn't been very good on some of these. I should probably use the mic. Just wanted to point out real quick that I've noticed, I'd say 9:45 at night, I can look over the mountains and still see the sunlight. 9:45, 10 to 10. 5:30 in the morning, I can see it starting to come. I mean, so, we're talking 7 hours, 8 hours of just, I don't know. That was one night clear. I don't know. And I'm only sleeping 5, 6, 7 hours max, 7, and I'm never seeing that. When I get 5, I guess that's it.
And when I did that video at the bar with all the interviews, someone with the Monopoly Man as the icon, there was a young lady on there. I was talking about yield signs, and the one guy said they were red, and the girl in the middle said they were yellow, and the girl in the end, she said they were white. What she was saying, what I didn't catch when I was there and after I rewatched the video, was she was saying they're white with red outlines. And I gotta tell you, I've been looking at them every time I see them. I cringe because, like I explained somewhere, whether in a book or another video, in December of 17, they were pure red triangles with a thin, pure red diamonds with a thin white line. Just for me, I haven't come across one person that agreed, except that, you know, when I was showing people the picture of it online and spoke with people on YouTube, nobody argued with me. Like, they looked it up and stuff, and nobody argued with me. And then in January, I noticed they were red upside down triangles with a thin white line, and now the white line is so thick that it does kind of look like it's white with red trim. And it just, you know, there was a yield sign I was looking at the other day that I passed not a month ago, and it was like a brand new sign, and I just kept laughing, like, oh, I guess they changed it. And as I'm going by it this time, it looks like it's been there for 10 years. It's so worn and old, and it cracks me up. But that young lady kept saying, you know, red and white. She wasn't just saying white as I thought, at least what I caught in the video.
He's gonna videotape you. You're gonna be on his YouTube channel.
Awesome. Do you want to repeat everything you just said?
All right, so I've watched some YouTube videos about the Mandela Effect, okay? And I myself, after watching some of the videos, have said to myself, I recall something not being the same as it is now, right? So, the name of a cereal or a brand name, right? Something like that. And I say to myself, in my youth, it was this, and now it's this. How did that happen? And I thought to myself, I must be going crazy. This can't be. And then after watching some of these videos, seeing how many times this has happened, it has a name?
Yeah.
The Mandela Effect?
Mandela Effect.
Once I realized that it had a name, I said, all right, something definitely strange is going on here. Something beyond.
So it all started with Nelson Mandela when did he die?
Right. And the whole thing is, they're saying that people recall the event taking place, and then he was released from prison,
and he died again.
How did it? Yeah. So how are there two different Nelson Mandelas? Now, I'm 42 years old. I seem to recall him dying in prison, and then having him.
How many people were in the car when Kennedy
become
was
president?
Right. So.
People were in the car when Kennedy was
3, right?
4. That's what I remember.
4th?
I remember 4, but there's actually 6.
They say 6 now. If you look at the car, it's all extended and they're...
Now, I kind of have an explanation. It's one of the theories, hypothesis, that your consciousness is experiencing different timelines.
Really?
And it shifted, and we just...
Rolling. So, listen, I got my PayPal account set up. So if anybody wants to purchase the book through PayPal, you can. Give me your name. I'll mail it to you personally and have it signed. Now, because of the shipping, I'm going to go $15 for the book signed. And I'm going to throw this in as a bookmark. Huh? How do you like that? I got a bunch of bumper stickers I got for the bar. And I decided, hey, let me try this. That's pretty cool, huh? So I throw this in as a bumper sticker. If you actually want one of these, it's $5. Now I got about 30, so when they go,
all that, I was focusing in on physical reality, which was fine. Except that, you know, there's drama that comes along with that. And, you know, I would peel myself away from it. Some things are still going on, but I've decided to focus in on the shifts and what's going on, and to me that was an experiment, you know, to not quite do it the way I was doing it. I should have stuck with what the orbs said, and I think, you know, beyond that, I'll create, or it'll be easier to create, or it'll be easier to take on the shifts or notice more changes, or maybe, you know, maybe not notice changes. I don't think that's going to happen. But noticing more changes and not being so, because for a while I noticed every time somebody would say, hey, there was just a shift, and I'm like, wow, you know, I was really in an agitated mood. It's the best word I could describe it. And I can't say bad mood or upset. I was just agitated. And it's happened a couple of times. And now the other day somebody said there's a shift, and I'm like, well, I noticed things seem weird, seem different, but you know, there was no agitation. And I realized, hey, I've been taking the magnesium. And I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. Found that interesting. Just, you know, things that I'm blurting out. I have no idea. Oh, that's the street I want to go down, right? Hey, that version. And I'm wondering how many people have come into the bar and not said a word to me. Like, hey, I've seen your videos or whatnot. Like this past weekend, that would have sucked. I was running around the bar like a madman. Wouldn't have had time to talk to anybody anyway. So all I've noticed myself trying to do is to do, you know, and start to live the life I'm teaching or talking about. And I messed up along that way there. First off, if I was going to recreate the situation I was in, you know, I went too far. So that was one thing. If I was going to cleanse, I even went too far with that. I mean, there's a balance in everything. So I'm not going to get it perfect because, you know, the last thing in the world I expected was the stars to jump out at me or orbs to appear over my head. I mean, you know, like Photohelix said, you weren't looking for it. No, I wasn't, but at the same time, I was pretty excited about some things, and I don't know how I am supposed to disrupt my current paradigm. I was speaking with this girl, and she said, hey, I think I might have a Mandela Effect for you. I said, what's that? And she says, she goes, Chuck E. Cheese is real skinny now. He was a little fat mouse. Now he's real skinny. Now, I haven't checked that out. But she was kind of flipped out when I told her it was actually Chuck E. Cheese's. I'm quite sure.
What color's a yield sign?
Yield sign is red.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, every once in a while they get lucky. A lot of people say yellow.
We remember it yellow.
I think it was yellow for 1 year in 1971.
No, it was never yellow. It's yellow in Australia.
Is that what it
yellow
is?
here?
Yeah, it depends on what timeline you're
I
in.
didn't really think about it though, because I thought it was yellow with black lettering.
Right, that's what everybody remembers. I talked to a
Bernstein
lady.
Bears, Sex in the City.
Berenstain Bears. I remember that one from the video. Saying to myself, that's not. Here's the thing about Berenstain Bears. Okay, I have a personal memory about this. When I was in kindergarten, my mother actually taught me how to read. And I was ahead of the curve as far as reading was concerned. The book I read was the Berenstain Bears. When I watched the video about that, I said, no. I recall personal events with that book. And the name now is not the name from when I was a kid. Something's different. So, as far as the switching timelines, I mean, I don't know about any of that, but something's definitely not. Something's definitely not.
His theory is different than mine.
It don't mean I'm right, because there's quite a few out there. Some people think we're in a simulation and it's glitching.
Sure. The first time I saw The Matrix, I was so blown away. I went back the next day and watched it again, and then the following day again.
It's
3 days in a row. Because
level.
it blew my mind in such a degree. I mean, think about it. All right, so every memory that you have, every experience that you've ever had, all it is an electric impulse from your brain to one of your senses, your eyes, your ears, your hands, right? All it is an electric signal. So who's to say that what you see as red is what I see as red? We both call it red, but maybe what you're actually seeing is blue. You just call it red. Who knows? Who knows? Right? You call it red, and you've always called it red, but to you, it's actually what I call blue.
Which means it's really only about your experience from your perspective.
Exactly.
From your perspective, everything's about you.
Absolutely.
And how you, I mean, it's about others as far as how you treat others, how you interact with others, but it's really about you. From your perspective, it's all about you.
Life is absolutely about your perspective.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Hey, thanks.
Absolutely.
I guess now if I was to do something, it would be to stay focused on the Mandela Effect, the shifts, the changes. More, not the Mandela Effect so much as changes, yeah, and shifts. And my mood swings. I mean, they should be top key, and I don't understand why I'm not saying, oh man, this is why I'm in a bad mood. This person's agitating me because it's that time. I mean, I don't get that. I know it. I'm thinking about it, but you know, this past month I was not focused on any of that. Right at the end there, right at the full moon, I started jumping on some channels and chatting. And just want to get to the next step. You know, or find out what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, if we're doing anything right or wrong. But I figure I'm going to stay focused on the Mandela Effect. I'm going to do live shows at night. I'm going to do them randomly. I'm not going to set them up. Thing is, I took my little studio apart. I'm going to stay focused on working shifts. I'm going to stay focused on the supernatural and what's not right about this or what's different about it. I shouldn't say right or wrong. It's just different. And I've noticed I woke more people up. Let me put it another way. I touched more people or shifted or whatever in that month because I was out without the cam. A couple of times I pulled it out, as you saw, but I was experiencing people, and even though I wasn't focused on it online, I was still talking with people outside of the place. I ran into more people who would ask me about my shirt. So, I mean, I'm doing my part. I'm reaching people. See, online, honestly, I feel like it's just us talking to each other. It's even the first thing I said. I don't know how many people are going to follow this, but you know, it's us talking to each other. So, you know, that's why I'm doing the interviews. I'm lifting veils, opening up eyes, whatever.
And what else do I want to say? All the negativity's leaving on its own without me even having to do anything. Why? Because I accepted what was around me. And it's more than that. I mean, look, I'm using physical words. Who could, you know, it's like I just accepted it. I let it go. You know, and I don't have to do anything. You know, it's not just try or do stuff, do or try it. You don't have to do nothing. You just have to know and sincerely let it go.
So, June 27th, 28th. I mean, nasty energy going around. Guess what? Guess what I was feeling? Agitated. People were getting on my nerves. Paranoid. And okay, now damn it, this is happening like every month. It's like every time, and it was the full moon. It was right after 28th. It was the full moon, and then like overnight, boom. Everybody's happy. Everybody's wonderful. The world is so great. I mean, the people around me, and on the 27th, 28th, I was having none of it. Couldn't get out of my head. Creating bullcrap situations in my head, stuff that just, you know, and then I'll get up to the bar and I'll go, hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, hey, what's the Mandela Effect? Well, it's where you shift your consciousness into a timeline where, you know what, I don't know if that's true, but that's what it seems like to me. That's the way I can break it down. That's the way I understand it. I really don't know what's going on, okay? But because of the experiences I had, this is what I've come up with. And I'm not even sure I've come up with it. I'm sure I've taken stuff from other people's information and research. And it's just what I feel makes sense. I'm doing 40 to 35. Officer, okay, I'm doing 35 now.
There we go. So I've noticed this pattern, and I've been taking the magnesium, and I wasn't as agitated as I was last full moon. I wasn't as paranoid, but I did the same thing. I never thought, oh, we must be going through a shift, or something must be going on now because, I'm feeling agitated. I'm really disliking people. What is it that I have to learn or let go of? And actually, this time I know what my lesson was. My lesson was acceptance. I just had to accept the way things were for a certain situation. Manager or no, things are going to be the way they are sometimes. I'm not going to be able to change the world on my own. Using all these movie quotes. Can't change the world on your own. It's good. Yeah, but today's the 29th, and it was like overnight. Last night, I could feel like I have a situation. It's a lesson. It's the worst person in your life is your biggest teacher, right? So, and I knew this was going on, but I was being so stubborn, I guess is the word I'm using, or I'm looking for. I was being so stubborn, like, no, because you know what? You did this, and I ain't giving in because you did that. So forget about it. You're done. And granted, I do have leverage here, but it's beside the point. I was still going places I didn't need to go, creating stuff I didn't need to create in my head, and just paranoia. And then I would lay down and meditate and just try and release it, and it just, hey, Patty, he's been on some of my videos. He's the one that started with the dude. You just got to accept. And I'm looking at him like, hey, don't you guru me. What was all, I was not taking my own advice. And I said that to him. I said, man, I don't get it. You're telling me this is what I got to do to snap out of the crap I'm in. Yeah, this is what I told everybody in my book. This is what I've told people forever. This is what I keep teaching. And he said, those who do not do, teach. Driving through this little town here. Let's see this flag. And away towards the bottom. I forget how the original Betsy Ross flag. The stripes, but those stars look weird to me. That's why I'm doing this one here, because those are
That'd be the first thing to do, though. If you take out the electrical grid, think about it, right? Refrigeration.
Don't tell everybody how to kill the world.
I'm sure there are smarter people than I thinking about this, but no, honestly, you lose refrigeration in hospitals, what's next? Communication, right? If your battery dies on your cell phone and you can no longer use that to communicate, how do you communicate? Do you have a home line? Do most people have a home line nowadays? Not really, right?
No, but our landline's out too.
So there you go.
Our landline's out. The cell phones are out. The cable's out. No internet. We got nothing.
Yep.
And that's the third time I've heard somebody say that it's actually most of the country.
That's amazing. That actually is frightening. When 9/11 happened, right, and the Twin Towers fell, that was frightening enough. When the Pentagon got hit, hang on a second. New York is one thing. That's restricted airspace. But the Pentagon? That's military airspace. You can't go anywhere near that.
That's baloney.
Once they said that got hit, that's a whole different thing at that point. So, I don't know. It's definitely frightening to think that half the country's out.
I love everybody keeps coming in asking me, do you guys have a password for your internet?
Yeah. We don't even have an internet.
Right.
We're going to go back to cups on a string.
So I originally set out to do a cleanse.
And you know, the idea was to recreate the situation I was in when I had the experiences with the stars, the orbs, and so forth. And I realized, well, that's not really what I was doing. You know, I was doing like this all-out cleanse. And I really believe it's, you know, I'm trying to recreate the situation. And then I realized, you know what, even that's the wrong, even that's the wrong thing, because what I need to create beyond that. I have to go further, lift another veils, or lift that veil again, or, you know, even lifting that veil again, you know, what's the next step? So I did. I kept up on the most important things that I felt with the orbs when they communicated with me what to stop, and so that's been done. But as far as stopping everything and being, you know, a totally pure human in one day, you make yourself crazy. You're not going to relax. You're not going to experience anything. So,
rolling. So listen, I got my PayPal account set up. So if anybody wants to purchase the book through PayPal, you can. Give me your name. I'll mail it to you personally and have it signed. Now, because of the shipping, I'm going to go $15 for the book signed. And I'm going to throw this in as a bookmark. Huh? How do you like that? I got a bunch of bumper stickers I got for the bar. And I decided, hey, let me try this. And it's pretty cool, huh? So I throw this in as a bumper sticker. If you actually want one of these, it's $5. Now I got about 30, so when they go, they go. Yeah, I put $100 all out for the bumper stickers on my own. I told the bar, I said, look, you know, if I got more, I got 50 or 60 of those. I just want to make my money back. That'd be fine. I figure I'll be giving most of them away, especially with the bookmarks going out. No, real bookmarks, Scarab. And what else did I want to say? All the negativity's leaving on its own without me even having to do anything. Why? Because I accepted what was around me. And it's more than that. I mean, look, I'm using physical words. Who could... You know, it's like I just accepted it. I let it go. You know, it's... And I don't have to do anything. You know, it's not just try or do stuff, do or try it. You don't have to do nothing. You just have to know and sincerely let it go.
I'm coming across a handful, not a lot, but enough to recognize it, that there will be people that'll sit there and listen to my spiel on the Mandela Effect, and then start to explain how the human mind is weak and how people misremember things all the time, and it's really about your perception, which I totally agree with. But their twist on perception is that perception is wrong, and you know, sometimes people perceive things wrongly, and it's not wrong because it's their perception, and you know, the human mind just can't handle some stuff, and they go on and on about this, and I don't understand that. I don't understand how you can sit there and just say, yeah, the human mind in general. I mean, it's totally generalizing the human mind. He's not saying some people. They're not saying some people. And it just burns me up. You know, if the human mind is that brutal and we're all that stupid, who gives a flying monkey? You know, I mean, I just feel like it's an attack on me, because I feel like they're telling me my mind is weak, and anything that's stronger.
stronger. Yeah, I just, the veils have been lifted, and I'm trying to get more veils to lift. I'm trying to understand what I'm supposed to do with this, and I feel, I don't believe anything. I feel that I am to try and wake people up about this. I'll whatever it means to them. I don't even think it matters, because it is about perception and your beliefs, or what you believe. I try not to believe. Like today I was talking to a guy. Actually, I had my book sitting there. I was supposed to bring it to somebody. The guy wasn't around, so I just kept it, held on to it. I was having dinner with the book sitting next to me, and he's trying to read it upside down, the cover. I turn it around for him, and he picks it up, start looking at it. It's like, he's like trying to, and the thing is, I just want to eat. I don't want to talk about this. He was the manager of the restaurant. I'm just, when I'm not into sitting there teaching, they come to me. I'm sorry, or as that other guy put it, their consciousness drugged me to them. Oh man. It could be true to a point, because I'll go down to the bar and I'm like, look, if I'm not wearing... There we go. If I'm not wearing a Mandela Effect shirt, I don't want to talk about it. Or I'm just not in the mood to. And more times than not, somebody's like, hey, somebody told me to ask you about the Mandela Effect, or, hey, what's this thing about, I thought this happened, and somebody's telling me it's not the way they didn't, whatever. And I'll start explaining to them, get into them, and then I end up getting into it. Just I'm not looking to initiate it, I guess. If I'm down there with the Mandela Effect shirt on, yeah, I'm ready to go.
It's been about 24 hours, but there's been no communication whatsoever in or out of Leadville. And it was speculated that it was because of the fires, and they shut everything down preemptively. And then a couple of people were saying that it's the communication outages from New York, Chicago, and all the way out. That it was most of the country, if not all of the country. I don't think that's true. I think it's probably just this area. But I don't know. There's no way for me to find out. I mean, no way. No text, no phone call, no internet. Talk about being forced off. All I kept thinking is, wow, if the electricity would go off, the silence would be amazing, because I can feel the difference with all that out, with all that communications thing, everything out. I can just feel it. It's softer. The only ringing I'm hearing is the hum of the electricity, if you can call it that. Something else that's occurred that I've learned, big lesson, and I learned it properly. No, I didn't have to learn it through failure. I did a few times, but it wasn't it was still processed. I can tell you now that if you just let things happen, truth will out. My stubbornness was holding me back. It was my stubbornness. I'm sitting here preaching like there's no tomorrow, and wasn't taking my own advice. I was preaching to myself. And I got to the point where I had nothing to lose. And I just let it go and accepted. I just accepted what was going on around me, observed. I did want to say fail, but there was a point where I interacted. And I shouldn't have. I didn't have to. I interacted, and it brought things back. And I was like, oh. And I realized, I said, well, it's because I interacted. Things went back to wrong, negative, very short time. Because when I realized that it was because I interacted, I truly accepted again and let it go. And accepted that I screwed up and shouldn't have interacted. I just accepted all that. And it was done. It was over. Negativity gone. Yeah, there are supposedly a lot of fires around here. I say supposedly because, I haven't seen anything. They talk about it. They're talking about how there's big fires over at Twin Lakes, which isn't far from here, and they're just talking to a guy who lives out there. And he said, yeah, I'm leaving. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen the fires or anything. That's what he's saying. But, it's a big area. So. Other people have said they saw smoke, and it's really hazy around here. So. I tell you, everything is phenomenal. Everything is great. I've learned that it's about your focus. Boy, did I say that. It's not about giving things up. And it's not about accepting things you're not used to accepting. Oh, maybe it is, because just let it happen. Don't fight it. This would have happened sooner, I'm sure of it, if I would have just let it go and accepted what was going on around me. I created all of that from my experiments and getting rid of electronics and cigarettes and alcohol, and I did all this stuff. It wasn't about that, and I didn't realize it. It was about what I believed. And none of those things matter. It's not about the physical things. It would be easier, I think, if you put it that way. It'll be easier if you eliminated them or cut them back. But it's not about stopping doing things. It's about a knowing. And I think it's real important to number 4 on the list of the orbs was correct thinking. And that's really important. Yes, physically, okay, you want mind, body, spirit. So physically, I needed my body to catch up with what was going on in my mind and my spirit. So I needed to get off the meat and eat properly and take care of myself better. Because I was trying to catch up with everything else. I was waiting around. Number 4 is correct thinking. Especially because if your thinking is going to take you into a emotional windstorm, you're going to create those things, and you want to make sure it's correct. You don't want to be. I was creating all this negativity just because I could not get out of my head, and it was happening. And then I turned around and said, "Wait a minute. This is not what I want. This is not what I desire. I don't need this. This is not. What is this for?" And I realized the negativity was my teacher, and I just went with it from there. Instead of fighting it, I accepted it. And I created it out. So that taught me that whole string, that whole month and a half of an episode, was a whole big long lesson. Didn't have to be that long, but I made it that long. And it was all connected. And you can create. And you are creating. It's not you can create, you are creating. We can't. create what was going on around us. We're doing it. It's happening. And I'm being taught to stay positive and stay up. And I already know what's going to happen. You know, and hey, maybe I'm creating it. Maybe it doesn't have to happen. Maybe I should be careful of my thoughts. Because come the next full moon, I figure, you know, some kind of, I don't understand, false flag, whatever, school shooting, whatever, and then chemtrails, and then full moon, and that's when I'll get agitated, and I won't know. I won't know that, why am I upset? Why did this shit happen? Oh my God, why is this going on? And I won't be able to get out of my head again. That's the key right there. That's when I got to get out of that loop.
Can I get that little dance move? Is that I dance move? Oh shit. Yeah, they bought my Mandela Effect book.
I had a bunch of crap going on in my head, and that stuff was coming around. You know, and I'm not serious about it, so I'm kind of letting it go, which, you know, kind of makes it manifest. And, you know, maybe not completely, but, you know, I could feel it and see it around me when I was still going through my little paranoid bull crap. And with the full moon and, you know, all the agitation and, you know, I had all kind. I could not get out of my head. I was creating bullcrap scenarios for no reason at all, and these things were coming around. I mean, that's proof there that we're creating something, and I really believe that. Feel that. That's one of the things we need to learn how to watch our thoughts, control our thoughts. I don't want to say be a Vulcan, but I mean. Because you control them and watch them because you're going to manifest that stuff, and I think it's just going to get easier and easier. So anyway, like I was talking about the whole, I was agitated in timeline, and you know, I'm thinking, hey, maybe we're shifting or whatever it is happening. It was like that. Last night was, you know, same old bull crap, and then this morning I woke up, and seriously, for me, it was to accept certain things. So, I just started accepting it. I said, you know what, and I didn't know how to do that yesterday or the day before. I didn't know how to accept. No, this could be a while. What do you want to talk about? The cleansing and trying to get back to the state of mind I was in when I had all the experiences. I don't think it can be chased. I think you need to do what you need to do to relax yourself. People are people. You're going to be you. And you got to be you, because it's, you know... Oh, I'm just babbling now. I did learn something from abstaining from everything. I mean, at once, not to do that. But how's that going? That saying, be in the world but not of it. I've had some really interesting thoughts on that. You know, how about recently what's been coming in quite a bit is that we were raptured from another timeline, but we didn't experience that. I mean, I've had some
dream states or whatever of stuff like that happening. And I don't dream a lot. I don't remember my dreams, but when I do, or there's something. So, who's to say? I've said this before, got in trouble for it. Who's to say what somebody else is experiencing? Got in trouble. What the heck am I trying to say? Taken here to avoid the negative stuff, but even if that's the case, there's still something else going on. What is this, a waiting period? Wait until that stuff's over? I mean, to me, it would be a continuous growth. There is a continuous growth, and maybe we came to a point where it's graduation time. We graduate to the next level. We graduate to the next grade. If you don't graduate, you need to go back to 3D. And if they're destroying everything, you're going back to the Stone Age. It may not have existed in the first place. It exists in the future, maybe, in that timeline. Just thoughts. But if that's the case, why move us here for what purpose? Because, it's different here. But is it different here? Or are we just being more aware? Are we just noticing, truth as far as physical reality and your perception is malleable? And that you can shift and change it. And that's the other thing I was getting into. When I was experimenting, things, were slow going, but then they started to pick up, and I realized that whole bullet point number 4 was correct thinking. And that, I'm thinking that should be a little higher than 4 because, even though it's just the third thing, while I was abstaining and staying off of the computer, and you know what I was doing? When I was staying away from the computer, I was staying away from the Mandela Effect. My focus was elsewhere. Even though I would look around and see things and cringe every time I see the yield sign. But my focus wasn't on the Mandela Effect and supernatural experiences. My focus was totally, the bar and work and, hitting hot springs in the vapor caves on my days off and experiencing what was around me. And, a lot of physical drama bullcrap came with that. And as much as that, and then it got stronger and stronger towards the full moon and then died off completely today, the 29th. Would you guys like to say hello to all my Mandela affected friends?
Why are we saying hello to
I don't know.
Mandela affected friends
Did
who
you-
may or may not remember?
That's a good point. They apparently read the book. So how do you spell Chick-fil-A?
CHICKFILA.
Yeah. Well, that's right. You shouldn't answer though, because you've getting them all right. You're from this.
No kidding, geez.
You're from this.
She's knocking them out of the park.
She's from this timeline, man.
She's not even from the States.
Oh God.
That's right. That's my girl. Where's my $20?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Ambisol. Did I ask you that one?
You did.
Shit. What did I just ask you? What was the question?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. How do you spell Chick-fil-A?
Spell Chick-fil-A.
CHIK.
No, CHIC.
Yeah. No, it's I.
FA.
You say, oh, this is great. This is great.
It's LET. It's LET.
Yeah.
No, it's LAT. It's LAT.
LAT.
Fuck no.
I was just talking to her about, she looked at my book and you said something about the dual memories.
Yeah, so I was reading in your book about dual memories, and I have at least 2 experiences in my life that I can say 100%. I have 2 equally as clear, focused memories of different occurrences, and probably a handful of others
That's
that
awesome.
I've always questioned.
I'd leave you on and roll you for another couple minutes, but I'll get copyright strike, you know. A couple seconds on the...
What kind of vehicle was it?
It's a longer car. The car's longer, there's a big bar in the middle, and it's...
For sure, Lincoln Continental.
I don't know what kind of car it was. I never really paid no attention. What color is a yield sign?
What?
What color is a yield sign?
Yield sign.
I'm sorry, what's a yield sign? So I asked him, I said, what was the question? It was brilliant. Oh, the Monopoly Man. I said, does the Monopoly Man wear glasses, a monocle, or nothing at all? And he said...
He has a monocle, but he doesn't wear it.
Has a monocle, but doesn't wear it. Did you come up with a color yet for a yield sign?
Yellow.
Yellow, okay. Say bye.
Bye.
I'll interrupt you guys.
Can
And
you take a picture?
no.
What's,
No, I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, for what?
First one.
Are we online?
Guys, have a great night. Are we online? Is this thing on? It's an inside joke. Have a good night. Thanks for coming in. Okay, you ready? Trivia question. Trivia question.
Ooh,
It's only one of you, okay? Whoever gets it.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be.
You ready? You ready?
I'm terrible at trivia.
What color
Yes.
is a yield sign?
Yellow.
Okay, next answer. Correct? Yes?
No.
Press? No.
It's red and white, isn't it?
Okay. I don't know. I'll give you all the right answers, but I'll take as many answers as you can give me on all of these, actually.
Oh my god.
Shouldn't have got
It's
you.
on the news when it looked like dummies.
it might be yellow. No, it's red.
It's white. And then it's got red around the outside. It says yield. Doesn't it?
She's the only one who took
It says yield on it.
Alright. I'm doing my gut reaction and I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not even gonna rethink
I'm going
it. That's
red.
what I'm gonna do.
Red, yellow, and white. Okay, next question. How many people, and I expect 3 different answers here. How many people were in the car when JFK was assassinated?
3.
3.
3.
3.
3.
3. Okay. Made a liar out of me there. What weapon does the Scarecrow carry in The Wizard of Oz?
I have no idea. I've never seen Wizard of Oz.
Never. Oh, well, there you go.
I've only seen kids.
Okay, I have to pause because that's a whole hour conversation right there.
That's just un-American. That is just downright un-American.
I'm afraid of the monkeys.
Monkeys with
We
wings
can
out
fast
there.
forward through the flying monkeys.
Then that would be fine.
You know what? When the monkeys are let out of the cage, what does that evil witch say? She lets them out and she says...
I don't know because I've never seen it. It's all on you guys.
I don't think she said fuck.
Bring me the girl, maybe?
Yeah, oh, I like that.
Bring me the girl?
But you have to say it in her voice.
I'll tell you what, I remember Fly My Pretties Fly, but I don't want to put anything in your head.
Could be. I like it.
Could be.
So what weapon does the Scarecrow carry?
I would guess a scythe.
I would like that because he's a scarecrow and that makes sense.
I was going to go with no weapons.
All right, the Monopoly Man. Last question. Monopoly Man wears glasses, a monocle, or nothing at all.
Ooh, the Peanut Man wears a monocle, but I don't know about the Monopoly guy.
I don't like Monopoly.
Okay.
Both.
He wears both.
Really?
He can't wear both.
I
How
guess
can
he
he wear
could.
both?
Somebody said he has a monocle but doesn't wear it. I got that in a video, and I thought that was pretty cute. Yeah, I
Do
like
you know
that.
the answers to these questions?
I do.
Are you going to tell us?
Why
I am.
did he wear
I
a
am.
top hat and a monocle? Those
No,
are-
I thought he said glasses and a monocle.
No, top hat and monocle.
Oh, I thought you said glasses and a monocle.
Okay, well, I'll give you a couple more since we totally butchered that one. TV show with the 4 girls running around New York City with that Sarah.
Sarah Jessica Parker and Sex and the City.
Or girls.
Sex.
There's also...
Okay, look, I'm not hearing you because you're saying it too fast. I want you to say each word and articulate each word very slow.
What is this going to be used for?
Sex in the city.
Is that?
Sex and the City.
Oh, you said in and you said
You said in,
and.
it's and.
It is Sex and the City.
Which one are you saying?
Sex and the City.
And he's sticking with in?
More sex in the city.
He wants the sex in the city.
Yeah, I recall sex in the city as well, but it is and. But how come I recall in?
Because when you say it quickly in English, we tend
Oh,
to
wait, you know what? That was so rhetorical. Okay, I've listened to 180,000 people give me reasons why I'm wrong, so please.
You don't want to hear it.
I don't. I gotta set the popcorn thing off before it all burns. So,
That's how you get the popcorn.
all right, here we go. Here's the answers. You ready? What was the first question? The yield sign is red. It's a red upside down triangle.
But it's got white on it, doesn't it?
But we all remember a yellow diamond with black yield. Why do we remember that? You don't. Well, because you're indigenous to this timeline. Did you get that?
No, I don't know.
Did you get that?
It changed it.
Your consciousness is the only thing that's real. I should just, you know what, instead of going through the explanation, because you guys heard that enough times, I'm just going to give you all the answers.
Are you going to YouTube us?
Yep. Oh, it's piece of cake. You'll love it. You'll love it. Wait, I'm going to show you one after I get this off. Where's the other question? Scarecrow's carrying a gun.
No, he does not.
No, he does not. Okay, that's why I'm going to give you all the answers here, and then I'm going to give you the explanation of why we're all nuts.
Okay.
Sex in the City, I told you that is and the City. Here's the one that blew my mind.
JFK?
6 people in that car.
No, how? Where? How did they sit? 3 in the front?
Two and two.
They're sitting up on the back.
No.
It's a big car.
It's messed up. The way you remember it is correct. Your memories are real. They're just, you remember them from a different timeline. It's a theory. It's one of the good ones. It's the one I resonate with the most, but there are others out there. What are the other questions? How come I can't
Wait, what do you mean it's a theory? There are others out there. There's an actual photograph.
Yeah.
There is actual
There's
facts.
the video.
Yeah. Go ahead, look it up. You got the world at your fingertips. You show me 4 people. You show me 3 people. There's 6 people when you look it up.
Okay, I'm going to believe you on this. Let's go on to the next one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't need to spend my time on that. I believe you.
I'll look while you guys...
Because you know what? We do know Google never lies.
lies.
Well, okay.
I was on one of the other. Oh, the Monopoly man does wear a monocle in this timeline. Oh no, I'm sorry. Most people remember him wearing a monocle. He does not wear a monocle in this time. He wears nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing on his face.
I don't know anything about it.
Sections, I did that.
I just know the peanut man.
But tell me about the yield sign. Why it seems like it should be yellow. I think it's because...
Well, it's the explanation I'm going to give you.
Okay.
And I just want to see her reaction when... I can give you internet if you need it.
Oh, well, I'm just trying to find...
Pick images.
I think
Well, I'm
down...
thinking there's a YouTube video, which I don't actually know how that's possible. just give me...
Why? I've seen it in black and white. Yet
And I didn't.
Yet I knew
I'm
the car
too-
was light blue
too
and it's
young.
black in this timeline. Okay, I'm going to give you the...
6 people in the car! How is that even possible?
There you go. There you go. Okay.
There's like a whole video on it.
46 voting videos. Worthy of note is Andrew Zimmerman.
That's Moneybags. he does.
How did you recognize Moneybags' voice?
How did I recognize Moneybag? I used to. No, that's not true either. I've been doing research.
Yeah. A legit look, you can see them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a big car.
Yeah.
Big car. Did they stretch that car? Is that some Photoshop?
Moneybags got a plug.
Yeah, money bags. There you go.
Moneybags 73, I believe.
I don't
this time on
John
1G.
JFK could have a big car, but
Right.
why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, like limos. I mean, there are multiple rows.
I've been dying to get these guys off, but they're too much fun.
Like the car that I...
2 weeks or
You
whatever.
just started looking into the Mandela Effect.
Yes.
Well, you're gonna be on my videos, one of them anyway.
I just started looking over it, and then like somebody like you comes into the work that I'm at, you know what I mean, who's published a book, who's telling me about this, about the yield signs, and I think it's like my own consciousness that maybe like brought you in here at this place, this time, and this day, just to inform me on some of the things that I have not a clue. Just like the Monopoly man on your shirt there, you know what I mean? Like I know him as this, but he probably was this. Right?
I can't see which is which.
He
Which
has
one
the
has the
monocle.
monocle? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody remembers the monocle, but this is what it's always been.
Yeah, I always thought that's what it was down
Okay,
here.
but that is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Most other people remember monocle. Now, if it's quantum and infinite, it doesn't really matter what you remember, what you don't. You just know that something's messed up. That's pretty wild, yeah. Your consciousness brought me into this store. I'm screwed. I mean, if other people's consciousness is bringing me around places.
Honest to goodness, I just started looking at this stuff like 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Like how, I was like, what is this? Nelson Mandela, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I started looking into how things changed, and then I got into it deeper and deeper, and then the Chase Bank thing changed. You know what I mean?
Well, that's wild. You've heard about Chase Bank thing for two weeks?
Probably at least 10 days.
I found out about it this morning. Today's what? The
25th.
25th.
And you know, it's just it's really cool to me. Me as one person in Glenwood Springs don't really know if I can do anything about it.
I'm working that to see if we can.
But I think it's really interesting that somebody like you comes into my life after I just started picking through this stuff like
It's not
2
a
weeks
coincidence,
ago.
man.
No,
It's no coincidence.
You know what I mean? Like, this is the first day we met, you know?
Right.
And
which reminds me, I want to eat. Oh, you know what else I need? I need a coffee. No, so don't start. Now listen, that's a shame. I actually brought a few books and I've already out of them.
At the end of the day, these things, yeah, they're fresh and all, but we're not going to use them all.
Yeah, next time I'm in town, I'll bring you a book. You'll enjoy it. Sounds like
I'll gladly pay for it. I love buying books from the people that I meet. And
I get to sign it for you too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I will gladly pay for a book if I get to meet the author, as long as you autograph it for me. Like, and I have them all in my luggage. I keep them all.
Really?
Yes. There's a guy from Summit County. His name's Pastor Bud. Here, man. His name's Pastor Bud.
You know, the camera and put cream in my coffee. I wonder if that's one of the things I should stop doing, is putting cream in my coffee, because I've already taken away the sweeteners.
Now, when the cream turns purple, then we'll have something going on, man.
This shirt is getting a lot of attention out here. I asked these guys what island the Statue of Liberty's on.
Your videotaping?
Ellis Island.
Not yet. And they said Staten. They said Staten, and then they changed it to Ellis. Ellis Island. It's actually on Liberty Island in this timeline, but nobody's ever heard of it. Some people remember being on Governor's Island. And everyone you fight. Oh, I'm gonna get copyright strike. When did Shirley Temple
I
die?
have no idea, but I just remember reading a book with her adult self in it.
I don't know where I would guess.
I don't know. I haven't had any conclusive information.
I have memories of her dying as a child.
As a child?
Yes, and
I
so
have memories of her like not elderly, but maybe in her 60s. I would say, like at the Oscars. Yeah.
She's in the Poseidon Adventure.
I don't know. In the timeline you resided in, she was.
Terrible movie.
Nobody's wrong.
Which one?
She was in that.
The only people that are wrong that keep telling me I'm misremembering things. They're the people that are wrong.
God damn it! I know. Okay, here it goes. Watch.
I'll probably get copyright strikes.
Take it down.
Listen, here it goes. Here he goes. Yes, I'm going to. Fabulous.
I know. This image is so fantastic.
There he goes.
Uh-oh.
I'm not enjoying myself. I'll watch Mr. Rogers. I'm not.
So, do you see this as normal or?
I don't know.
I thought it was
He said this. In this one. Maybe he said that.
And that's really old.
It's this?
Did that video say this?
Yeah. This.
That's fun.
Who changed it? I know the one that really gets me fucked up is Bernstein.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Bernstein, I read so many books as a kid.
Yeah.
How about that stuff that you put on your teeth when you have sore in your mouth? What do you put in your mouth?
In my mouth. Oh, it's like
Well, not Oragel. Begins with an A. And something Sol.
Aerosol?
Oh, no, I don't think I used it yet.
Okay, I would have said Ambisol
I don't know
or Anbisol. No, you don't know either one. No.
My parents made me suffer through
All those
I
damn.
did.
Snap, crackle, pop. How do you spell crackle?
C-R-A-C-K-L-E.
No. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's with a K. K?
Yeah, there's one K.
No, it's just a K.
How do you spell it,
It's just a
Anthony?
K. I do not condone that number of
In
K.
this timeline, it is a C, but it was a K, and you're right.
It was just a K.
Kellogg's Cornflakes was with a K for, it was C, then K, and then back to C.
K-R-N flakes?
Kellogg's Cornflakes. For me, it did. I remember it with the K, plain as day, and I had to laugh. The rooster is not really the rooster anymore. Now it's just a small little head. It used to be this big thing, and nobody can find that anymore. How about this, Disney? And you're watching the beginning of the Disney credits, and Tinkerbell comes out, and she goes on top and goes ding, right?
Over the castle.
She's never done it.
Over the castle? She's never
She
done
has
it.
done it. God damn it, my man. I will tear the farm
This is
apart.
her turning point. You're going to mess her up.
I will tear this
She's never. Tinkerbell does not fly around and go ding on top of the castle.
She does. Yeah.
Not in this timeline.
I know what you
How do you spell Chick-fil-A?
CHIK-A-FIL-A because I always thought it was Chick-fil-A. Wait, CHIK-FIL-A.
F-I-L-A. That's how I remember it.
How did I just spell it?
Chick-fil-A.
C-H-I-C-K. All right, I've had
No, C-H-I-K is how I remember it.
C-H-I-K.
What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you remember?
I remember CHIC.
CHIC-FIL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
In this timeline, it's CHICK.
I will say that I did not.
In this timeline, in this time, look at me. In this timeline, it's CHICK.
No, it's not.
You're unraveling her.
C-H-I-C-K? No, it's not. It's C-H-I-C-K.
She's gonna look it up right now, and it's a capital A on the end, and that's never been a capital A on the end for me. Look at it.
Oh, no. Yeah, you see the logo. There's
No. When they paint it on the billboard.
I haven't done this in 2 weeks. I haven't interviewed in 2 weeks. I'm having more fun with these guys than I don't even believe.
I might see you on the lake,
on the trails?
It's possible. Tomorrow I'll be there, but we're doing Timberland.
Don't forget to look for them yellow yield signs. Don't forget.
Yeah, we'll see you around. Thanks, Anthony.
Don't forget to look for them yellow yield signs now.
Looking all over for y'all. Thanks, guys.
And there's been a lot of people remember green lights being on top, red on the bottom. I do not personally, but that doesn't mean they're wrong.
Green lights on top?
Green light on top.
Yeah, I remember that.
How about this? What country is down under?
Australia.
Well, yeah, I guess they still call it that, but it's now New Zealand. But they still call it, yeah. Well, New Zealand's actually underneath Australia.
Perception of it.
I still say go down from.
Nice.
Yeah, she does.
All right, Anthony.
You get that up in.
Dude, you are the man.
Yeah, I don't condone that.
I can take that out.
The Tinkerbell didn't happen. It says the first thing that shows up is Mandela Effect.
No.
When I looked up Tinkerbell Disney intro.
This is
No.
This is probably you talking.
Yes! It's supposed to happen.
She's smiling at you.
Oh no, it's not going. It's a long video. But I don't think
What's the name of that YouTube channel? That voice sounded familiar.
I'm getting upset.
Oh, I know.
I'm getting.
Hey, what can I get you?
My dandruff.
First question, is the pool table working?
I'll be right with you. Be right with you guys. I'll go do my job.
What am I going to say?
1, 2, got the Ethiopian flag.
I was telling him how I always thought the Ethiopian flag was just red, yellow, green, and that was it. And I posted it on a Facebook picture of me and said that I was half Ethiopian. And somebody said, hey, that's not the Ethiopian flag, and there's a black star in the middle of it. And it's been like that forever, and I had no idea. And then I didn't even know there was an emoji for it until after that, and I found it. But I swear it was not there before. But now it's like all I ever see.
The Mandela Effect. Like, I can't help it, you know? It's just,
Well, see, I think you can. That's why I got to get you a copy of my book. Because I think you can. I think you can manipulate it. I'll use the word. I think you can shift your reality. You can
shift your consciousness into something more to your liking. That's how I feel about it. I've tried it.
I think it's really cool. Just because it gives us something else to think about. You know, I know things are changing, what we're used to, what we're different. Things are changing from what we know, and they're changing to make it different. But like, that's what the world's all about, is change, man. You know, we've been changing the iPhones and technology.
Yeah. Okay, but physical reality is not what you've been told. Now, I don't mind changing, but damn, you lied to me.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's physical, consciousness, subconsciousness, you know, what we believe, what we know, and they're saying it's never changed kind of thing, right? Like, I understand that.
Oh, my sandwich is here. Hi. Thank you very much.
Enjoy.
1889.
No, this was built when?
1879.
79.
1878.
Are you recording right now?
I am.
My motto's select.
Oh, he wants to let's get right. Heck with the bar. Let's get right into it.
Over contemplation is the bane of all humanity. The most difficult thing to do in life is given to simplicity. Don't think, feel. Make sure you feel at everything you think, because it affects everything around you. The ripple effect is real. And one must be truly selfish before you can ever be selfless. You must be firm in your own lusts and fears and your own loves and hates before you can ever feel for others.
Oh, I didn't see the period. You know you were done.
There is no period, and I'm not done.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Please.
Am I dead?
Probably a few times at this point.
Oh, I'm just saying. And this vehicle's still moving, so I'm not done. So there's no period. Comma, ...
I don't know. I'm wondering, like...
Yeah, I'm just blowing minds, that's all. Just blowing minds. Got him with Mickey Mouse, Curious George. Monopoly Man. Does the Monopoly Man wear glasses, a monocle, or nothing at all?
Isn't it a monocle? Monocle.
Monocle. All four got monocle. All four are wrong. In this timeline, it's nothing. He wears nothing on his face and never has. That's the key. He never has worn anything.
And so, when we start having these realizations, it's sort of, man, that thing always bugs me.
Pretending it's not there.
Yeah.
We're also, we see things a little different because we live in clouds.
That's quite true. Could be the lack of oxygen, but I don't know.
That's what they showed on
So what's the name of your YouTube channel?
Hunting the Dead.
Hunting the Dead.
HuntingTheDead.com.
There you go. Give you a little plug on my channel.
I'm an economics major, but I'm a big math and science kind of guy. And some of the forefront of physics that I just read through, and obviously it's way dumbed down because I'm not a physicist, but like looking through on my phone some of these articles that pop up, and they talk about these ideas where it's starting to look almost like we might be interacting with other universes, but they interact in a way that we can't really understand, and like just this idea of the multiverse and all of that kind of stuff. And it's not rote for what you're saying, but it resonates with me that you think in that same way. It's just kind of an interesting, not coincidence, I don't know, it's just interesting.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of that.
Not a big thing in your life, I'm assuming?
I don't believe in coincidence.
Dude, a guitar with a hammer.
Just to prove me wrong.
You tuned a guitar with a hammer?
Well, I use that metaphor a lot, just like, to like, realize like, things are tools and weapons at the same time. But it's how you utilize it. It's how you visualize
Love and hate.
And so, hate is a beautiful tool if you put it in the right place.
But I've had other personal Mandela Effects, things that have only changed for me. Or a couple of things, there might be 3 people I run into, because I'm online talking with other people who are involved in this, so, I'm running into people. That, oh yeah, the Big Dipper and Little Dipper, we're connected by one star. I've met 3 people that agree with me with that. Nobody else seems to remember that. But for me, when I was a child, that's how my mother was telling me, both of them were connected. Or my father, one of them, that, who knows, we could have been both at the time.
So facts are only, there is no such thing as facts or truth because it's a perception. So everybody that has their own perception about this being a hard surface is just because we all have our idea of what this means. And this is not the truth. Doesn't exist. This is dissolving at all times. The only thing that is true is spirit and consciousness. That's the only thing that is real. Everything else is dissolving and not real.
Are you guys
from
part
California?
Are you part of a team?
I'm a spirit guy.
To me, we're like kind of running through timelines and we're catching changes. Kit Kat never had a dash in this timeline. I remember Kit Kat having a dash. It's never had a dash.
No,
But now the Monopoly
It's like
man.
a wrinkle.
There's another trivia
It's like a
question.
wrinkle that you experience, but nobody else
No, this one.
experiences.
You gotta ask.
Ladies, the Monopoly man.
Monopoly, yeah, the guy.
A, B, or C? Does he wear glasses,
Yes.
a monocle, or
Monocle.
nothing at all?
monocle.
Oh, it's a monocle.
And a top hat. Monocle and top hat.
Yeah.
In this timeline, he wears nothing on his face. The
Well,
top
that
hat is
changes over time.
no good.
Yeah, that's
But
their
if you-
symbol, their
Why?
marketing logo.
If you look back in history, he's never worn a monocle.
No.
That was where she calls bullshit. You just met Enzie's threshold. She's like, I gotta
You don't have to wear on your fingertips? That's good. You shouldn't look at your phone when you're in a bar anyway.
What about the peanut man?
What about it?
There you
He
go.
has a monocle.
Here's a monocle.
He's
Monocle
In
and top hat.
this timeline, in every timeline I've ever existed in, he's always had a monocle.
Oh.
The peanut guy.
What?
The
Are you
peanut.
serious, sir?
What, you didn't think
What
the
about
peanut
Ace
man had a
Ventura,
monocle?
Pet Detective?
What about him? Oh, he imitates. He
Or
imitates
not.
the
Is it that
monocle
guy?
man,
Is it that guy?
and he has the monocle.
He's got a monocle.
That's what they
Oh,
call
yeah,
the
you're
situation.
right.
Pet Detective, Ace Ventura?
Ace Ventura, he does a Monopoly man. He
Yes,
wears a monocle.
yes.
That's
He
what
wears
they
him
do.
over his
They call that
shoulders
the peanut man.
because he was wearing a fur.
Yeah, yes.
No. I don't believe it. That's crazy.
So what's this
So I've been
Mandela effect, huh? I
That
got
is
a
the-
question. I'm
That
not
is.
allowed to ask questions. Wait, keep
Must
going.
be
I'm
the
sorry.
alcohol. Nelson Mandela, a lot of people remember him, including myself, dying in 1989, 1990, 91. Saw his funeral on TV, and then he went on to become president of South Africa after his funeral.
What?
Yeah, amazing feat.
I don't remember the funeral.
He died in 2002
You don't
again.
remember.
Muhammad Ali died twice for me. Nichelle Nichols died twice for me. She's still alive. Gene Wilder dies every 10 years.
Yeah, is Gene
Well,
Wilder still
he's a
alive?
little weird.
He's past it.
I've heard. Now that's the thing with the deaths. I'm not sure. It's just what they tell you, and we all tend to just believe what the news
Yeah,
tells us
that
because
happens. There's
you
too
know
much info out
science is truth and doesn't lie, and the news is
Yeah,
truth.
but you're
and-
getting
No fake
imperfect
news.
people looking at science and in your imperfect and perfect
I was being
perception.
sarcastic.
Yeah, okay. Because there's no such thing as perfect.
It's like that. One of the lines in my book.
San Luis Obispo, actually. There's no beach. Yeah.
One of the lines in my book was, I just wrote, energy cannot be created or destroyed, and I always accepted that as science fact. I don't even know what the heck it means. I can't explain
It means
that.
it just changes form.
Law of conservation of energy.
But whatever you guys said made no sense.
It goes
to me,
in,
okay?
it goes into dirt or it goes into, and that's all energy. Everything is energy. Everything is
Okay,
energy.
that I understand. Everything is energy.
So
but it
my
cannot be
question,
created.
so like this is like kinetic energy, me hitting the table, right? But then where does that go?
So
Where
it
did
already
that
has.
energy go?
So in that moment,
Potential energy.
it's there, and who knows where it
Converts
went.
from
I don't
Wow,
know. So it's now
potential
gone.
energy, but potential energy
Blast
there.
from
Listen, you and I have to
freshman
chat
year
later on.
past.
But the,
Oh, that's something neat that's happened. My past has changed. My past.
Your past?
I
What?
thought you said
I
your
have-
pants were changed.
Well, every
My
day.
pants have changed. Sometimes twice a day.
Jeans, you cannot wash.
How's your
multiple
past
days.
changed?
I have there are two things. I've had people talk to me about things that I'm just like, and I know what it was. I knew right away. I'm like, I know. You're talking about these kittens and these cats. Like I knew about. Like I named them. And I'm like, I don't know what. But I didn't say that. I didn't argue with my family. I just said, yeah, I remember.
That's called short-term memory loss or long-term memory loss, Anthony.
It can also be called shifting your consciousness into
Right.
another timeline. I mean, all these poor people in hospitals that are put away because they don't remember. They have memory loss, and that, what is it, Alzheimer's? Is it Alzheimer's?
She's a very polite listener.
I mean, these people are in hospitals and being fed medication because they remember another timeline. I mean, what the hell's going to happen to me if I'm remembering them now?
They really were polite down there. There's a question. There's a question on the floor.
When you say that you should...
Sarah?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you shifted consciousness, or did your family, like, so it could have been that your family, well, it would, I don't know, who shifted consciousness? And if someone shifts consciousness without their family shifting consciousness, then what?
You're in your own dimension.
Okay.
You're the only one here right now. Okay? From
Oh,
your
it's a
perspective.
That is fucking.
It's cool.
Horrifying.
I know,
This
that's
is awesome.
cool.
What are you talking about?
I totally
Nobody ever
agree with this
dies.
part.
Anybody that dies in your life died for you. They went on to their own dimension, timeline, physically interacting with you and other people still.
I know that sounds wild, but
Oh my god!
Boom!
Blow my fucking mind.
So then...
So when something like you were saying.
So then am I eternal? Will I keep going on and on?
What time is it?
That, I don't know. I mean, I don't know at what age, because I had some death experiences, not out-of-body experiences. I mean, I impaled myself. It's in the book. It's in the book. I accidentally impaled myself, pulled
it's not
myself
a real
off this
human.
thing,
Sounds like more stories.
pulled this thing out, and ran for the light, turned on the light, and there was nothing there. The thing that I impaled myself on was behind another table. Why? What happened? First off, it was pitch black, and I think that has something to do with it. I did not know that I impaled myself, because if I knew, I would have believed I died, and I may have either died and do whatever you do when you die, or reverted back to a baby avatar or whatever. I don't know. But I do have the entire memory of impaling myself, not knowing it, and then feeling something trying to get out my back. And I was all for... Sarah?
Okay, so then is age something that we create in our consciousness?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Yes, absolutely.
fucking shit.
You do not have to age.
Oh my
You do
god.
not- I've been going back...
How much is your book, man?
I've been...
Yeah.
$10. $10 here
But
in
that
Sun.
money
Walmart's
really doesn't
14.
exist. It's just false.
It's an energy, that's
yeah,
all
it's an
that is.
energy.
Wow.
It's
Well,
an
yeah, 'cause
agreement.
you have to. I mean, with
an
our
agreement.
mind, with our, this calculator in our head.
I'm going to tell you one of the
Well,
other
see,
experiences
you know
I
what
had.
another
It's
thing
easier,
is? Mind doesn't
it's
exist.
easier for me
Mind
to
is tells you
explain my
stories
experiences.
that doesn't exist.
Connect.
Your mind is not the truth. You are not your thoughts.
Oh boy, that would really unravel a gal.
So one of the experiences I had.
You're not your mind.
You're not.
When you have a thought, that
mind
means
is really
something
all
is
you are.
missing.
Well, it was shortly after the impalement
You're having a
experience.
thought.
I noticed
Yes,
that
being
all of a
made
sudden,
up. So if I'm
for me, I
perceiving-
noticed the anatomy started.
Like, I know what you look like.
Your
It's because my
anatomy
mind
Yeah.
is
changed.
now
Yeah, I remember the
giving
stomach
you
being here and the
information.
heart being here. Now the stomach's here and my left here. The liver,
Oh my god.
the liver is
Okay.
3 times bigger than I recall it. That's why I know so many alcoholics.
That's
More
really
anatomy.
convenient.
I got
Give
made
us some more
fun of
anatomy
in
trivia.
school because I got made fun of in school because I said, isn't your heart over here? Because you put your heart over your
And you
I'm
gotta
hand
turn
on
around,
with you,
that's
the
what
Pledge of
it
Allegiance.
I
And the guy said,
I gotta get this
no,
guy a bear
it's
over
in
here.
the here. Like,
It's
in
in the
the
middle, but the
middle.
bottom
It's
tilt
in
a
the
little bit,
very
so when it
middle.
leads, it goes a little bit to the left. It's tilted slightly, so it's tight,
I
slightly
literally,
tilted.
But I remember being
These are
Yeah,
things
they put your name
Okay.
right.
The other day, do you remember when you almost had that accident in your life?
What if we're in a game and we're screwing it up? They're out there. Ran into a group today that were affected, but the one girl was kind of freaked out, and I could tell she wouldn't say anything. So I just, I got her name and I signed the book to her and gave it to her, and I explained it's like science fiction, because she couldn't understand it, and she started looking up everything that I questioned. So after a while, she started getting the answers right, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She was looking it up on Google. Every time I asked a question, she goes, "Yeah, that's not what I would have answered." But this is what it is. Yeah, fun group. Really good people I've been running into. Mostly people aren't affected. Mostly people are indigenous to this timeline. Mostly people recognize the way it is now, or most of the people are from this universe. And whatever it is, I don't know. Even my top theory is, suspect, and that's my consciousness is shifting through timelines. It still answers all the questions. So does the simulation theory. That answers all the questions. A spell would answer all the questions. That's so. I'm just going with what I feel and what I believe, what I know, what I believe and know. That don't even matter. It's what I feel. So, but yeah, really fun group I had. I did get to film them a little bit. I didn't, I didn't really get the good stuff, but here it is anyway. I don't know. Online, he's carrying a gun. Don't shock you. Sex what in the city? What did you say? The 4 girls running around New York City is called
Sex and the City.
And the City.
I don't know. I've never watched it.
It's the sign. Oh wow, I never had that one before.
You know it.
What did you say about the 4 girls running around New York City? What's the second word? And. Okay. In this timeline, you are correct. It is and.
I had thought for a long time it was sex in the city.
It was in the city.
That's just perverted.
It was, right. And that's why I always couldn't stand that. I worked for Donald Trump, and the big saying was, are you getting any? I'm like, are you kidding me? How come everything has to be sex? Why? I don't understand. And that always burned me up. And that was the same thing with Sex in the City.
Then I found out it was and I was like, you know what? That's okay. Because then they're separate narratives.
Didn't change your life at all.
No.
All right, I totally have a visitor tonight. I'm going to sneak the camera up on her. Let's turn that. There she is.
Are we on camera?
We're on camera.
Hello.
Say hi to all the Mandela.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, your consciousness is the only thing that's real. This is the first time I've ever done this with the explanation first, without asking the questions. And your consciousness is shifting through timelines. Physical reality is actually I had the word the other day. It's stationary. And you're shifting through stationary timelines. And what's happened is there have been changes because we're going in a different timeline, so there's got to be a slight difference. Well, the changes are getting so extreme that it's kind of getting obvious. So I'm going to ask you some questions now. You guys are all kind of young, so probably get most of these right. And this has really been failing for me in this timeline. This timeline, most people are indigenous to this timeline. So you might not get these questions right. Or you'll probably get them right. They made me do a shot. I'm going to start with something different. I got almost 200 videos on YouTube about this stuff. And there's thousands of other people affected that notice these changes, but not everybody. And you might notice some and not the others. I got one that you're all going to get wrong. Now, and this is the bread and butter, and I hate going here right away. I should probably, you know what? I'm gonna do the Bears later. What is that TV show? No, you know what? I got one. It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Anybody else? No, not from here. Are you not even from this country?
No, we're from the Netherlands. I'm from Texas.
Fuck. Okay, so Texas. So what did you say?
From the neighborhood.
In this timeline, it is this neighborhood. I just slurred. He made me do one shot. I slurred. In this timeline, it is this neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, but it was the. I know that's a tiny one. You remember JFK, John F. Kennedy? You remember him?
Yeah.
How many people were in the car? Let them answer first, because I know you know this one, right? How many? You saw it. How many people were in the car when JFK was assassinated?
Including him or
Including him. How many people?
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Like his wife was sitting next to him.
the driver.
And then there's a driver, and it could be someone else.
I was thinking 3, but
3. Okay.
She don't have a dog in this race. Well, go ahead, give me Texas. You said 3? Texas, what do you say?
Go with 4.
4. In the 80s, I studied it. There was 4. Are you ready? Now there's 6.
What?
It's not possible.
Not possible. It is if your consciousness is shifting to a different timeline.
Is it after you got shot, people jumped in the car?
Yeah, maybe, but that's not what I'm talking. When they had their asses sitting on them chairs when that bullet went through his head. That was, wasn't that nice? That's the way I put that.
That changed it from 3 to 6.
How?
Well, no, did they just?
It didn't change. You did. It didn't change. You changed. You shifted to a timeline where it's always been 6 people. That's the Mandela. Now you're affected. That's the Mandela effect. What color is a yield sign? I got to go to Texas for this one. I don't know if you guys even have yield signs.
Yellow. Yes, I do.
What color is it?
Yellow.
Yellow. It's always been red and white. It's never been yellow, and he thinks it's yellow.
Or orange.
It's always been red.
Red and white.
What?
Red and white.
Yeah, this guy's head's going to blow up.
I guess I was thinking of the yellow light.
Oh, you were thinking. Were you thinking again?
In a different time.
Now you're going to start justifying it. Listen, dude, Jiffy peanut butter never existed. Curious George doesn't have a tail. I mean, are you kidding me?
That is true.
But I remember him having a tail. Many others do as well. Here's the bread and butter one. Do you guys have the Berenstein Bears in your country? Oh, that was the bread and butter. You don't even know them? I didn't know them either until 2012. They've been around since '62, and the spelling is different for people. What weapon does the Scarecrow carry in The Wizard of Oz? You've seen that, right? Nothing? No weapon?
I didn't see it.
No dog in this race. That's what you said. You don't think he had a weapon. There you go. You know what? I don't think he had a weapon either. But in this timeline, he carries a pistol. I messed up with that.
That's a crazy timeline.
Oh, dude.
So when are we going to the next timeline?
Every nanosecond you shift. If the theory that I postulate is correct, every nanosecond you're shifting. And you can actually manipulate it, control it, use it, direct your consciousness into the timeline more to your liking. No doubt in my mind, because I've been doing it. There's thousands of changes. I mean, thousands, and you might not see them all. You might see some of them. But the idea is physical reality is a lie. They lied to us about everything.
Who's they?
Who is they? I don't care. It's about my perception. It's not about if the earth is a ball or round or flat or globe or whatever. I don't care.
You don't care?
Why do I care? But some of the experiences I had were pretty wild. I've had stars communicate with me, orbs tell me not to eat meat, had a conversation with my daughter on the phone that did not take place. I had a scar. This scar here used to be over here.
Was it from your cat?
It's very good, very good. We need humor. That's good. Oh, my. TV show with the 4 girls running around New York City. You guys got that in your country? Sex something? Yeah. What's it called?
Sex in the City.
What's the second word?
Sex in the City.
In the City. All right. Anybody else? You thought it was and you thought it was and you're saying it's not and, it's in.
Pretty sure it's in the city.
In or and, guys?
And.
And. You and I came from the same timeline because I remember in as well, and I'm sure it was in, okay? But it's now always been and. Weird. Is that all you get? All right. Everybody say bye to all my Mandela affected friends so I can, you got it. And what if digitally remastered actually means this recording is from another reality?
Story that I told about something that you are going to dig.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Okay. All right. And Victoria here has a story for me. I'm going to go ahead and film it. Let's see how she comes out there. Let's get the light on you. Go ahead.
The full moon.
In the full moon, right?
Yeah.
Bang.
Okay, I'm going to tell you a story about...
Hold on. You know what?
Their light.
Please repeat what you just said. Please. I said to them...
about Holland and the Netherlands.
Just shush. Will you stop? I just want to hear what you said. I don't want to hear an explanation or anything else. I said, what country are you from? And you said, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Holland.
Okay, you heard it. I don't even want to hear the explanation. You heard it. And then she changed it to the Netherlands because she shifted real quick.
Use both.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, you can use both, but it's not the same landmass. It's not the same landmass.
I mean, it's
Technically, no. We use it both. Technically, no.
in Holland people in Holland.
You guys are millennials, aren't you? You got an answer for everything. Even looking at the news to see what everybody else is doing and what's going on is bringing that into your reality. Okay? You're hurting yourself by just checking it out. That simple. Beautiful. Here we go.
Okay, I'll tell you about the first time that I was ever able to, it's something like automatic writing, or it's something like channeling. And I was in Chartres in France, in the enormous cathedral there. And I was overcome by this, like a sensation, like a voice.
You are so softly spoken. I hope they can hear you.
Okay, so I was overcome by a voice, and I am not religious. I'm not a Christian. I've studied some scripture, just out of curiosity. But I started to write this down, and a voice came through very clearly. And she said, I am a queen of angels. She did. And
I like that.
I wrote about 3 pages of what she said to me.
Oh, really?
Yes. And when I left, I hadn't been to the sacristy in the middle of the church. And it's like a 1,000-year-old labyrinth.
Okay.
It's a labyrinth.
I'm really done interviewing people at the bar. I mean, because they're just not responding. They're answering all the questions as if they've. Yeah, ain't that ugly? I gotta fix that. Get that down. It's like, you know, they answer everything's right. They get them all right. You know, 6 people in the car. He had a gun. Kit Kat had a dash. So I'm done. You know, I don't even bother. It's the newest Mandela Effect. I can affect Alicia here. Let's see, what could I do? What's the latest one? I don't remember.
What?
Latest Mandela Effect. I don't even bother anymore, I'm telling you.
I don't know.
Do you know about Stofers?
Stofers.
Shit, I blew it anyway.
What, 2 F's?
Craft.
Craft is with the K?
Or Pillsbury. Which one makes stovetop stuffing?
Craft.
You see what I mean? It's exactly what I was talking about. I don't bother asking people anymore because they get them all right now. It's true. Everybody's getting them right, so I stopped. So, of course, I'm at the bar just having a normal night, and Jim's like, hey, did you ask him about the Mandela Effect? I'm like, man, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to knock you out to stop. I know. So, of course, I start asking them, and they're answering them all right. And, of course, I show the lady one money in my book, and she's like, what are you doing acid? Is this a dream? This is a fictional story, right? And I'm just like, wow.
Are you doing acid? Is that really what they asked you?
I've had quite a few people ask me if I was doing LSD. And the thing is, I used to get upset. I still get upset, and it still hits me, but I'm like, you know, whatever. Go away. You're not interested.
People's minds are so closed, and they're not open. They're not open-minded to...
It's true.
Or they don't want to think about, because that's way beyond their mindset. Like, they can't comprehend.
They can't, man. It hurts. Yeah. Let me run back in there.
Okay.
Yeah, see, everybody's getting... I don't even bother anymore. I don't care. I'm not going to be doing... I already talked about that. Interviews and such. Oh, got some customers. Some guys playing all country music, so I got to get out here as much as I can. Just to balance. That road in there. To get to these hot springs I heard about. So we're absolutely amazing. It's just like a total wooded area where everybody's walking around naked. It's cracking me up. And it was pretty awesome, pretty freeing. We're good.
And so I was leaving through the east door, and I all of a sudden I swear to God, I heard this voice. I have something for you. Go to your right. So I went in, and it's like a gift store. It's like lots of like kitschy little Christian things and that. But I went over to a counter, and I saw it. There were all these medallions, and I saw it, and it was the labyrinth. It was the labyrinth. Wow. And so I pointed to it right away, and I said, that's what I want, right there. And I was really profoundly moved by that. Profoundly moved.
Sure.
And so moved, as a matter of fact, I later had that labyrinth tattooed on my back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do we get to say it?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my God!
Yes,
no.
you can see my labyrinth.
Oh Lord! Here we go.
This is my short labyrinth.
Look at that. That's something.
Yes, and that's how much it moved me.
Wow.
Is that I wanted it to be with me always, and there were so many incidences after that.
So what were you saying? Well, what were you saying about the book that struck you that? Well, I had those experiences. You had some of the same experiences.
Well, yes. My sister and I talk about this all the time about the multiverse of lines of consciousness.
Okay.
And that we switch over sometimes, and we joke about it because things like you'll put a pair of earrings down, and you'll know where you put them.
Oh, that's the fairies.
And yeah, the fairies, yes.
That's an inside joke.
But you've looked there for like 8 years. You keep looking for this pair of earrings.
Right.
And then one day you open the door, and there they are.
They were there the whole time, right? Or
They were
whatever.
there the whole time.
Right.
So we laugh about this. We call this the switching of timelines.
Sure.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
That's great.
It does.
Thank you.
Also,
What do you got? Uh-oh.
Okay, one more thing.
No, plenty. You could do 10 more things. Huh?
Okay.
I got somebody else behind the bar. We're good.
The story that you told about the stars coming down
Yes.
and talking to you.
Oh, Lord.
My husband, he was an old hippie in Hawaii, and he used to skateboard down Haleakala. And Haleakala is about 13,000 feet on the island of Maui. And they would go up in a full moon night like this, and they would smoke a lot of pot, and they would skateboard all the way down to sea level, 13,000 feet on the switchback.
Oh, nice.
Well, one night they were up there, and it was him and a bunch of his friends, and they all saw it.
The stars came at them.
The stars came at them.
More than one. Just a bunch of them.
Yes.
Just started.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And they watched it, and they all agreed that this was happening.
What did they think it was?
At first they thought it was spaceships.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sure. I guess that's what you would think of UFOs.
Yeah.
I guess that's all they went with, right? They didn't explore it after that. I mean, what are you going to do?
But they saw it in a group.
That's awesome. I'm not nuts.
No, you're not. This stuff is happening.
Yes, it is.
It is.
I definitely
I'm a
agree.
witness.
I'm a witness too, dear. Thank you. So, I'm at the bar with these two ladies, and Jimmy said, you know, the guy dressed up like Gandalf, he says to this couple, hey, did you ask him about the Mandela Effect? I was like, Jim, don't do it. So the one lady's kind of talking to me. She's not affected at all. You know, she's getting all the answers right. And I said, Jim, I got to run get beers. I got time. I want to deal with this. The guy next door on the other side, not even, you know, with them, he's like, I got all those questions wrong, man. I said, I feel like an idiot. So I went over to him. And, you know, as I'm serving beers, go ahead and I explained it to him. he hands me $100 and tells me to buy 10 books and give them out to the bar. So I still have to give 2 away. I've only given away 8. How cool was that?